relatively soon.
I like the Basher pickoff. He realizes, like, okay, I need to have some capabilities to catch and pick off these heroes who are constantly spread around the map, split pushing, often alone in the case of heroes like Beastmaster, Nature's Prophet, so...
Lets you man-fight the Gyro very well.
Yes. I mean, this Gyro, I feel like we haven't really seen him do that much with his carry items yet, but it's going to reach a point where he's got enough items. Like when he hits the Satanic, I want to say he almost feels like he's going to need a Butterfly as well. The evasion against the Slack on top of the Lone Druid going to go a long way, but Zeus just shreds everyone apart. He's been on a 5-second BKB for a long time, which is where it's good and bad. It means whenever like Slack goes in him, it's not really any loss to BKB just to dodge a pounce, which we've seen him do a couple of times, but alternatively when you get to those big team fights, Zeus is going to do a huge amount of damage.
And especially when you're running an Io, not exactly known for his big HP pull, and Hanskin isn't far much. He did grab a Glimmer Cape to go with it. Z-Freak has the pipe, but there's a Dagon on the Zeus. You're looking at an Aether Lens. They also have a Veil on the Chen, so they're going to be able to punch through this puny Io's armor very quickly if he's not careful.
Big fight brewing here around the mid lane though. Next Roshan coming up soon. I think both teams using this opportunity to try and posture around, push out the mid lane, push out the bottom lane of your alliance, just so you can try and control the next Rosh fight. And also it looks like Alliance may even try and threaten high ground because they've got the BKB on the bear.
Angry Bear spotted in the middle lane. Time to call animal control. They're shooting missiles at the damn thing, but it's still only taking a scratch. Boy, I'm glad no Park Rangers have to deal with this. Complexity do hold back for now, and they're going to let the Treants work out the bottom lane. Slowly shoving it in. Chessie, no ultimate at this stage. He has picked up a Void Stone here, looks like quite likely building towards the Hex.
Yeah, he's got the money for it, but Chessie is one of the most valuable heroes to have buyback on at this stage of the game because of just being able to TP instantly back in. I mean, a lot of the complex heroes just benefit so much from buybacks because of their global nature. So any fight, even if you're around the Roshan pit, that's where Complexity have a huge Rosh advantage because you lose like the 5v5, if you slightly lose it, you just buy back, you can TP back in, you can use your boots to travel back in, you can relocate back in. For Alliance, if you lose the fight, you're limited in your ways to get back in. Only S4 have boots to travel to TP back in on something like a Spirit Bear.
45 minutes to go here, but Alliance...
They've seen it.
Taking the smoke opportunity, they're going to move into the Roshan pit. Currently, dire vision, rather limited.
Gotta send that, get that Hawk there if possible.
And it is there, but Alliance are not going for the Rosh. They actually move into the pit.
Important, they know they're not at Rosh though. So like you see the smoke, you're worried if they're just trying to 5-man Rosh or not, and then they get the info that they're not.
This is a great angle for Complexity, but then they start to creep down. Grabbing his Abyssal Blade. So Bulldog getting the big items up on the bear.
And it's just the Hawks, it's the Treants able just to keep scouting out information about where heroes are on the map and making it very hard for Alliance to maneuver.
And they now see Loda. They're starting to sneak around from the back. Swindles leading the charge. He's got the Blink Roar ready. Who's his target? He's closing in. They creep up.
The Hawk leading the way. That's
Beastmaster, inch by inch, moving forward, trying to get vision here on a crucial target. Who's the roar going to come on? It's Zeusol! It's just a bit too quick! Couldn't get it up, and now the hole blocking an EDM, but it will get cancelled here. The Bear's going to turn on the Z-Freak. Chessie trying to float out S4, but he keeps on volleying out the nukes. EGM will be finished off, but at the same time, Swindle's nearly dropping. They have managed to grab 3 through it all. They got that Zeus down early. They killed off the Bulldog Bear, and with those two to go the vast majority of the damage, but not Loda, who comes back in. The Bear pops its BKB, and now it's Complexity being routed. Z-Freak on the run. Chase goes on to him, tries for the TP out. Will they get a back? Oh, they've got a Savage Roar, and they force him back towards the well, but no chance he gets far. And after this fight is when we see the Butterfly on Limb. Probably could have used that damage previously, so Alliance, when the dust settles, they lose a bit of gold, but they are on the precipice of taking this Roach.
Yeah, it does cost them an S4 Zeus buyback, which means even when they get Aegis, it's very risky for them to push and go high ground. And the key thing there for Complexity is they recognize how much damage Zeus is dishing out in a team fight. If left alone, he will deal more damage than the carries. He'll do more damage than the Lone Druid, more than the Slack. So they prioritize killing him first.
He lived just long enough, it felt like. He got off the ult, kind of interrupted their initiation, gave the team a chance to react.
Canceled the whole...
And he's tanky as well.
Yep, and the whole cancel been crucial for S4, but the initial fight goes well for Complexity. It was just once the Zeus buys back, they get the they reset, then Complexity are going to lose the subsequent fight without that black hole. But I think overall, it's kind of, both teams is there end up with a kind of neutral exchange. The being in the hands of Alliance as well as Aegis, probably a slight advantageous position, not to mention Aegis on a hero with buyback. So I think Alliance may actually be able to push because of the fact they get an Aegis on S4.
On the side of Complexity, the black hole got canceled probably 1.5 seconds into its channeling there. Next fight maybe has a BKB. We're going to see Z-Freak 3,200 gold. This could be the game changer. 45 seconds away from having the cooldown.
He can sell his treads here, so
if he feels desperate, maybe he does.
And it's always also that consideration, like how important is my buyback? Like if you're an Enigma and you're going to have one black hole, maybe you don't need to have a buyback. You'd rather have a buyback on heroes like the Gyrocopter than Nature's Prophet.
They are starting to commence the siege. Cooldown gets dropped as a BKB Bear, just working off the Harax here. Limp, decent physical damage, but not enough to finish it. As EGM blinks forward, throws out the long-range stun there.
Yeah, very telling to what Alliance want to do. They just want to chip away at the base. They've got a long duration on this Aegis, so they're in no rush. When they use a BKB just take a tower out, they're going to wait for the BKB cooldown before they really commit to the high ground again. So about another 45 seconds. Until then, Alliance probably just going to poke and prod, chip away at the base with some like
Limp's leap in here from Loda, making his move on the Limp, but Limp's pretty tanky. They can't burst him down, commits to BKB. Loda first to run on Elsewhere. Swindle making his way into the fight. Jesse, though, caught out, gets off the Hex on EGM, can't finish the job. Loda continues to stack up the charges here. 15 Estrogen, but now the black hole. No, he didn't get them all. EGM with the clutch Hex there to disengage Z-Freak low. Finished by a test of face from Ake, and still they fight on, but the nuke damage from S4 slaughtering Complexity's backline. Loda jumping in again. There's the mini bash, gets it just in time, and now Complexity rush forward. They need some more kills here. They've used 2 buybacks. They've committed a lot to this. The Bear being pummeled, but it turns on the Limp. Gets stunned. Looks like it will go down, but S4 still alive, still dishing out the damage. He's pretty low on mana, but he's got enough for an extra pulse. Kills off the Tyro as well. As the gift that keeps on giving, nuke after nuke. They didn't even kill him once, let alone twice, and now his taser is getting some upgrades, popping mangoes as he moves in. Just wants to get back to the front lines as quickly as possible. Send him back, TP him in, pop the clarity too. Alliance.
That was
crucial
back in one fight for the Zeus.
And he just eviscerates another, bringing down the Gyrocopter right after he's used this buyback out of the picture. And with that Complexity, likely of the game, 4 dead, no buybacks, make it 5. Alliance with the killing blow here. It was back and forth, it was neck and neck for a time, but that early movement, Ake, the crucial S4 haste rune, it set the tone. Complexity struck back, but they was playing from behind, and in the end, Alliance looking to finish them off. Those heads get in the well. He wants to glimmer and run, but he can't defend home.
Hold up with the refresher. He knows it's one. He knows. He resummons his bear with the refresher, forces a GG, and Alliance so clutch in the late game. You don't expect a hero like Chen to be able to counter a black hole, but S4 gets good hole. Aki sends him, Booster travels back in. He's got another round, and with all that he was the mana as well. He comes back in, gets the double kill, and then after that double kill, he gets sent home again. TP's back in once more. That Octarine Booster travel cooldown just, I mean, S4 probably dealt like 10,000 damage in that last team fight alone.
We didn't get one fight recap. It was so long. I think there were 2 or 3 there, so we couldn't see the total in the midst of the chaos, but the Zeus pick turned up absolutely huge this game. Ake really big on the Chen. EGM had his moments with the initiation. Bulldog actually pretty quiet there down the stretch, but he just farmed, and eventually I really liked the BKB pickup on the Bear, used it to siege, forced them to overcommit at times, and it just felt like Complexity didn't quite have the firepower they needed late game to win those engagements.
It's rare you'd say like Bulldog plays Lone Druid and gets completely shut down throughout mid to late game and Alliance win, but that's exactly what happened here. Like the Zeus and the supporting casters played so incredibly. Everyone on Alliance's team just did their job, and what a game was.
I wonder if we're going to see a big black hole from Z-Freak. Didn't quite find it that time. They were good at canceling it. Alliance here exiting the stage. The crowd loves Loda, that's for sure. But with that, game 1 wrapped up. It's a best of 3. Complexity not out of yet. And to break it down and get ready for game 2, back to the panel.
Thank you very much, LD and gods. Indeed, what a game 1 that was.
They actually killed all the cores from Alliance, and they weren't 100% sure that buyback was down, but they chanced it going bottom, and then they didn't commit to it because they didn't want to just get buybacked on and wrecked. But I think if they went for it there, they probably would have gone Rax, and maybe things turn around a little bit differently. Who knows? And probably.